Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is National Master Lbcscl, and today we're gonna take a look at the first round in Lower Bucks County Division, where Pansbury, New Hope Academy, Yardley they won. Holy Ghost Prep and Council Rock South they should play, and we also have MAST Charter and PACHS. Middle Bucks Division, William Tennant, Hadborough, Horsham, New Hope Academy, Dolestown, they all won. Congrats on your wins, guys. Archbishop Wood, Penridge, and Central Bucks East. And we have a little bit of different format this year. More divisions, more teams, more divisions, I would say, like 4 teams. So Central Division, Perkiomen, Germantown, Pope Joan, North Penn. Western Division, Plymouth and Norristown, Notre Dame Academy, Penn Charter, and we have Eastern Division, Upper Dublin, Abington, Lower Moreland, and LaSalle. If you guys want to see the results, you guys could see the results here, and I will try to upload the game of the week. And we have Abington versus Lower Moreland. So Abington they won 3-2 versus Lower Moreland, and we have I think the first board from each team, and I think we have Ostrov Clayton with black, who's at 1800, and Carter is around 14 or 1460. So let's see the game. White played Bishop F4, and he just wanted to set up the triangle. Black played in the King's Indian fashion. He didn't show yet that he was gonna play King's Indian or Grunfeld or a Benoni or a Banker Gambit. Every single time you see this bishop on G7, it could be like 4 different openings. So White set up this triangle, and after Knight bd7, Knight bd2, Black played c6. It was an interesting move, this c6, Queen c2, and b5. Maybe if White will ask himself what Black wants to do, wants to push b5, maybe he could play a4 to stop b5. Instead of this Queen c2, maybe we should have just followed the basics and castle. Bishop e2, b5, and castle. If Black continues with his queenside expansion, then you could play a4, attack the b5 pawn 2 times, and if Black plays b4, just play in the center, e4. White has a better center, controls the central squares, and is threatening to push e5 at the right timing. In the game, White played Queen c2 after b5, a4, b4. The difference is that White King is still in the center, and this will cost him time, and when the game opens up, the king can get in danger. White played a5. I mean, I understand that you want to take the b6 square away from the knight, and you don't want Black to connect the pawns. However, if you will have just played Bishop e2, b5, and a4 and b4, and you let Black to connect the pawns after e4, I don't see such a big thing about this pawn on a5 here, because this could be a weakness. The more they advance, the pawns, the more they advance, the weaker they are. So And you don't have to be afraid of trading off this bishop because the rook is misplaced on a6, and you have these beautiful squares for your pieces. You know, the knight could go here or here, and you have the c4 square, and even the b4 pawn can get weak if you capture, and then you have a pass pawn on the a file. So white has a lot of options. I would prefer white here, but queen c2 before a5, knight d5, bishop h2. I was thinking instead of bishop h2, maybe bishop g3. So when white castles, he will have the h2 square for his king. We will see later on why this is an important nuance. This doesn't make a big, huge difference, but sometimes it could be. Knight c7, I assume black wanted to trade the bishops. It was interesting to take this pawn. Pawn takes, rook b8, and now take this pawn. Now c6. And yes, you activated the rook, but after queen c3, rook b8, I have 2 pawns versus 1 on the queen side. I'm still up a pawn. Where is black compensation here? Again, I would prefer white here. I'm curious what the engine says just in general here. This is just playing natural, normal moves, so developing the piece. Bishop c4, taking the d5 square away from the knight, knight f6, and castle. And now if you play knight d5, queen a3, and if you finish your plan with bishop a6, at the end of the day, I could play rook fc1, or I could push e4 to force some trades. Rook fc1 is good, e4 is good, bishop takes and knight takes, and again rook a to c1, rook f to c1, rook f to d1 now, because the d4 pawn is a little bit weaker. White will be up a pawn in the end of the day. I don't know why didn't take that pawn. So takes, maybe he was afraid of knight d5. Queen takes, knight takes before, he's threatening the queen and a fork on c2. And if I take and check, king d1, take, I'm up 2 pawns here, and I'm gonna take the bishop out, put the king here, and get my rook out. So knight f6, bishop c4, and this is a forcing move here, because if you check me, I just play king e2. So you lose a piece. So maybe he was afraid that his queen will get trapped. Queen c7, bishop c4, bishop a6. And now I give up my queen for 2 rooks. You're threatening knight c2 fork, so I'm gonna castle. Safety of the king always number 1. And now if you take on c4, pin and win. Rook f to c1, and I get back my piece, and 2 rooks are stronger than a queen. So bishop d3, black stick to his plan with bishop a6, and white castled. It was interesting to take here and force the knight on the side, whereas the knight from a6 has no squares to go, and then castle. and I could just play c4. Now when you play c5, I could slowly play rook e1 or b3. And or I could use the square on b3. It's just now the white pawn is on a5 is a little bit disconnected from the other pawn, so sometimes it could be weakness. It takes the bc square away from the knight, but it could be a weakness. So it's hard to make progress with white. So maybe he needs protection with knight b3, but then black could solve his problems with e5. If white pushes d5, reminds me of the King's Indian here, but black could play e4 and have this super strong bishop on the long diagonal, plus the e5 square for his knight. So black is better. If white captures on e5, then knight takes, instead of taking with the pawn, to attack the knight. And if knight takes, this will be an interesting black cannot take with the pawn, because then the d5 square is weak, the d file is weak. Now I don't have to babysit the a5 pawn, and I could use the d5 square for my pieces, double, triple up and go in. So black is forced to take with the rook, and this knight on a6, that's the reason white is better, because it has no future, this knight. But black can just hold this position. He will have no problem, because this pawn on a5 always needs babysitting. On the other hand, black has a backward pawn on d6, but that pawn could be defended by the knight. Let's go back to our game. After castle c5, black connected his pawns, and again white was afraid of taking on b4. So if you could break the pawn structure, now if you take here, then you break the two pawns. I mean, that's the reason why white pushed a4, a5, so these pawns cannot be connected. And then you take, and again the knight on a6 has no good squares, and queen c6, invasion. You attack the knight, open file, you double up, put the heavy pieces on open file, and you have a beautiful square for the queen on b7 to attack the weak pawn on a7 and on b4, and the rook could go on the 7th rank. I think white is better here. Rook f to c1, normal move. Rook c8, bishop takes, knight takes, queen d3, attacking the knight, pawn takes c3 in between, pawn takes, and knight to b8. So if here you play against this knight, white should have stick to his plan and play against this knight on b8 and take the square away from c6. And if instead of rook a4, if white pushes d5, pushing pawns to gain space advantage, you limit the knight from b8. So black has a bad knight on b8, and these two knights, they stepping on each other's toes. If you guys read the Lbcscl books, he has a special chapter on it. Black plays, let's say, knight f6, knight c4, trying to activate your knight, and now white has space advantage, and white could just prepare e4, e5, rook b1 and e5 at the right timing, and this is way better for white. This strong bishop opened up on h2, and you have a beautiful square on c6 for your knight. And c5 pawn is weak, a7 pawn is weak, e7 pawn is weak. So black has so many weaknesses. If he takes the pawn, knight c6 and knight takes c7 check, bishop e5, and you have the h2 square for your king. You have the invasion on b7 with the rook. You have a pass pawn on d5. So this is easy, very easy. If you, let's say you didn't want to, or you don't see this move, you don't like this move, why instead of rook a4 you could just play the rook b1. Rook belongs to open fires, and just doubling up. You will double up or even triple up, double up with queen b3 and rook b7, and then play against the a7 pawn. That's another easy plan. White will be just better. In the game, white played rook a4. I really don't understand this rook a4. What's going on with this rook a4? I really don't understand. White wanted to play rook c4. So what is the idea? If I play knight c6, I mean this pawn hangs. So you wanted to double up on the a file and protect your pawn. I don't know. Yeah. Black could just improve here. His position. Once you get out of the middle of the opening, you need to make a plan, and it's also very important what you do with the rooks. Rooks belongs to open fires, so that will be a natural move. But after knight c5, probably white missed this fork, and from here black all he did is just trade. We up material, you trade everything, and he just won the end game, being up on exchange and up a pawn. It was an easy win for black. White could have just have positional pressure if you just played natural, normal moves, following the basic principles, pushing pawns forward, gain space advantage, limiting, making a bad piece for the opponent, or putting the rook on open file, double the rooks, going in on the 7th rank. Just normal principle chess, simple chess. Instead of following, playing normal natural moves, white played rook a4. I still don't understand this move. And here, instead of taking with the knight, you should have taken with the pawn. And after knight c6, rook b1, yes, you lose a pawn here, but this rook doesn't belong to a4. And just maneuver your knight, and even if black trades, still have squares to invade. Your back rank is doesn't matter, because the king comes to h2 and you still have a game. White is still in the game here. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I see you guys next week.